What is up, guys? Kyle Smith, Arizona drummer here, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, I am so excited for this video. This is part 2 of our studio makeover. In part 1, link down below, we went through and rebuilt our drum rack with the purpose of course, making it cleaner, more ergonomic, better spaced, and customized for this DW Collector's drum set with the cymbal array that we have, but also with the intention of getting our microphones and our cables better managed and better set up when it comes to capturing our audio and our visual for this channel. In today's video, we're gonna focus a lot more on the audio portion. I am so stoked for this because, guys, ever since about middle of 2020, beginning of 2021, this channel has been a proud user of Focusrite interfaces. I started off with an 18i20 and it completely changed the game for me. With the incredible preamps that it has, it made it so much easier for me to get professional quality tone through the interface than I was getting with anything I used before. And I still, to this day, am using that same 18i20. It's the 3rd generation. When I got my SJC kit, the double bass, the 3 racks, all the craziness that went along with that giant kit, I realized I ran out of inputs, right? When you talk about top and bottom snare, the different toms, the floor toms, the cymbals, the kicks, I was a little short on my preamps. And so I thought about getting another 18i20, but money being what it is, I went ahead and got a 2i2 for that. And that gave me 2 more inputs. And I'll show you what it looks like right now, but I created what's called an aggregate device that allowed me to kind of chain those 2 USB interfaces together and extend my mic preamps to 10. And that's what I've been using now for, gosh, about a year. And again, I love that setup. I have no complaints. They're both the 3rd generation. They sound incredible. The preamps are great, super easy to use. My computer recognizes them immediately and they sound incredible. That is the sound of Arizona Drummer, but also of so many other studios. But I partnered with my friends at Focusrite, and today we are going to unbox 2 brand new 4th generation 18i20s. That's right, guys, 16 mic preamps, which means we can add all kinds of stuff to this kit. Second snares, we can add another kick drum, we can add more cymbals, we can add cymbal mics. We can do so much. So much. Somewhere my wife is freaking the fuck out about the idea of me adding more to this drum set. But I do have to say a big thank you to my friends over at Focusrite, specifically Dan. Thank you for hooking up the channel with 2 brand new 4th generation 18i20 interfaces. In this video, I'm gonna give you a detailed look at the current interface setup that I'm using, as well as we're going to unbox these brand new 4th generation 18i20s. I got the box right here. I'm so excited for this because not only does Focusrite make the best interfaces in the industry, now we get the 4th generation of these great interfaces and we can expand to 16 incredible preamps. I'm so stoked on this. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna show you what I've been using up to this point, and then we're gonna get into the boxes. I'll show you what we got. We'll talk a little bit about the difference between the 2. And then what we're gonna do is get the kit mic'd up. So all the mics are on the kit, all the cables are down here at the bottom though, on the ground. So what we're gonna do is mic everything over to the new interfaces. We actually moved some stuff over, so I'll show you that as well. And then what we're gonna do is do a sound test. And we'll listen to the last couple things I recorded with the current interface, and then hear what it sounds like with the brand new ones. And I'm so stoked for this, you guys. This is gonna completely upgrade and elevate the channel. So again, huge thank you to Focusrite and Dan for sending me these interfaces. I cannot wait to get them open and showcase them to everybody on the channel. But before we get into that, let me firmly place on my salesman hat. Okay, we're in vogue. Make sure to check out our merch page. Guys, we've got all kinds of stuff. We've got new shirts, we've got hoodies, shorts, mugs, stickers, oh my gosh, everything in between. Make sure, hit the link down in my bio and pick up some merch for yourself. Rep the AZD and Behind the Kit brand. Those proceeds come right back to the channel so we can continue to invest in making the best quality content that I can for each and every one of you. That's more factory tours, more Behind the Kit interviews, going to more shows, more gear reviews, more lessons, more covers, everything. More. I can do more and more for you with your support. Now, if you already have all the merch that you can get your hands on, please consider becoming a Patreon member. For just $5 a month, you get the entry-level snare drum membership, which gets you things like early releases, exclusive content, behind the scenes, cover requests, and so much more. Excuse me. For just $10 a month, you get the drum set level. that comes with everything in the snare drum level, but also personalized name shoutouts, live Q&As, personalized phone calls. In fact, somebody who just became a Patreon wanted a custom signed AZD bass drum head, a signed AZD snare head, an Evans drill bit drum key, as well as a pair of sticks we used in a recent video, all just for becoming a Patreon member and commenting on one of these videos. So again, a lot of really exciting perks to be had over on Patreon. So make sure to check that out. All the links are down below, as well as the links for these Focusrite interfaces, so you can get yourself your own upgrade in your studio and get the best interfaces in the industry. So with that being said, I will stop talking so we can get into this box and check these out. I'm out of breath just getting this set up. There's just not enough room in this room. Anyway, we are here to unbox some new interfaces, and we cannot do that without our Talon knife. Okay, let's get into these boxes here, or this box here, but really well packaged. It's very heavy. Of course, you can never get enough packing paper. Okay, in here we have, of course, 2 boxes. So let's pull these to the side. Oh yeah. Inside the box, we of course had 2 smaller boxes containing the interfaces themselves. So we're gonna get into this one first. Talon knife. And, okay, here we go. There is our new Focusrite 4th generation 18i20. Here, I'll just show you on the camera. Let's just look at it together. So here it is, guys. Here's the Focusrite 4th generation Scarlett 18i20. This is the front of the box. They've got this really nice, high quality ProRes image. Really, really nice packaging. We're gonna flip this over, look at the back where it has a few images of the different dials and different input and output selections. All right, guys, so here is the 4th generation Scarlett 18i20. All right, guys, here are our 2 Scarlett 18i20s. Now what we're gonna do is get into the actual box and see what comes inside, and then as well as we're gonna begin getting the kit set up and mic'd up with these new interfaces. What the hell's on my shirt? Oh, it's the Nike logo. Now we're gonna get into the brand new 4th generation Focusrite interfaces. I don't know what that was. All right, guys, so here we go. We have the box here. Again, the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20. This is the 4th generation. So stoked to get into this box. So let's go ahead and check out what it looks like on the inside. All right, guys, let's get into this box. Oh yeah. Check that graphic out. That's super cool. It's got like a home studio, blown up image going across. You can see there the welcome to the studio sound. We got a picture of the interface here going into a laptop, and then of course into the computer, as well as a link there to kind of get you started. But then we pull this back a little bit, and here's the unit itself, but looks like we got another box here. Looks like we got a power cable. Oop. Oh, perfect. So check this out. So a lot of guys will rack mount their interfaces, especially when you have multiple. So it actually comes with, or the pieces you need to actually mount this to like a rack case. Really cool. We're not going to do that today, but doesn't mean we might not do it in the future. I think these might be the screws. Yeah, so this is just the screws to mount it. But again, both left and right side pieces, we'll keep those in the box for now. But we also have our power cable right here, just kind of a standard power cable that we'll put, obviously we'll give the interface power. And then right here we have our USB-C to USB-A. So the USB-C goes into the interface, USB-A goes into your computer, or hub or dock, whatever you're using. So then the rest that's in here, we have some paperwork underneath the interface. Then we've got this cardboard keeping the interface in place. So I'm gonna pull this out, get the interface out. But here we go, guys. This is the actual interface itself. It comes wrapped like this in this nice plastic wrapping, keep it nice and shiny, looking good. All right, so what we're gonna do is just kind of get this tape off. I'm gonna rip it because I'm a big old grumpy man. All right, here we go. now we've got the interface itself. Oh, wow. Now this is super nice, you guys. So there's the front of the interface there. We're seeing the input output knobs, the different inputs on the front of the screen, as well as the different buttons, and the input monitor that kind of shows you, again, whether you're clipping and you're recording, or again, if your tones are set in a place where it's not gonna clip. And then on the back here, we have the rest of the preamps right here, as well as we have some outputs here, our MIDI, and then some additional I/O and our power and USB. So really, really freaking gorgeous. That does it for this angle. Now we're up close and personal. You can see that texture on them. All the knobs have that texture on them. Really premium feature. Here's a couple of our front inputs, as well as, again, you can select these buttons, which then allows you to choose which of your inputs you want to turn up or down. So again, if you want input 1, you click 1, turn it up and down. It'll actually show you your levels right here. As well as, again, we have a couple of different buttons here, which we'll talk about a little bit more once we get this set up. We actually have our USB indicator just showing that, again, the USB is sending data pretty much. Our talkback mic, and then again, our output, as well as our power switch here if it's willing to focus. All right, guys, so now we're at the back of the interface. You can see there's where the power plugs in, as well as our USB. We've got a few of our I/Os. We've got our MIDI in and out right here, as well as some additional outs there, where you can see, again, there's your main, your alternate, as well as your different outputs. And then each of our preamps as well. And then, of course, there's our Focusrite logo right there. All right, guys, so now that we have the interfaces unboxed, God, they look good. Super sleek, updated. I cannot wait to get this set up, and guys, we're gonna do it together. We haven't even turned these things on yet. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna get the power adapters going, get the USBs plugged in place. We're actually gonna get each of the microphones running over to the interfaces. But then we're also gonna go inside the MacBook Pro, and I'm gonna show you how to make an aggregate device. An aggregate device essentially allows you to take 2 or more interfaces and kind of tie them together so you can use all of their inputs, all of their outputs together as one device. And we're gonna do that, and I'll show you how to then select it within Logic Pro so I get all of the inputs and all of the outputs that I need for this interface. And that is how I capture my recordings. I am so excited to get started, getting the kit mic'd up, getting the cables running, everything looking clean, nice, and updated, and then hearing what these preamps sound like, capturing those tones, and showing you guys how I get my computer and Logic set up. So I'm gonna stop talking. We're gonna dive deep into these interfaces now and get everything hooked up so we can start hearing what these preamps sound like with this awesome drum set. Let's nerd out! All right, guys, as you can tell by my 3rd or 4th outfit change, another day has passed. But we are going to now get all of the microphones plugged in and running to the new interfaces. And let me show you what we're working with here, and then we'll start kind of getting everything plugged in. Okay, guys, so behind this big kind of wooden shelving unit that I have here, which is really just storage for, you know, sticks, extra drum equipment, filming equipment, you know, in-ear stuff like that, cases. Obviously, this is where the Focusrite interfaces are gonna be. And we're gonna run all of the new cables to the back of this device, flip this storage unit back over, and all the cables are right here. We're gonna get everything plugged into the kit and then running down over here to the unit. And we have a plug here that should allow us to plug in both of our interfaces. And here is our hub that's gonna plug into the laptop that will allow us to, again, run both interfaces into the actual laptop. And what we're gonna do now is get this guy powered on. Boom. You see that? There's your USB showing that the USBs are plugged in and working. We got all of our inputs in, and none of them are armed right now for obvious reasons. We haven't hooked it up to the laptop yet, but here we go. So what we're gonna do now is I'm going to get you set up by the laptop, show you how we do the aggregate device. All right, guys, so now we've got the interfaces plugged in. We're here at the computer. I'm gonna show you how I make my aggregate device. So, all right, guys, so once we are in the computer, what we wanna do is actually go into our applications, and we wanna go into utilities. So within the utilities, there's a couple different options here, but you'll see right here, there's the audio MIDI setup. So we click on this, it's gonna open up a new window. You'll see that I used to have an aggregate device right here with Scarlett 18i20 and the Scarlett 2i2, but we're gonna go ahead and unselect these because they're offline, they're gone. And now you'll see I have a couple things. So I have my computer monitor I'm on right now, my iPhone, a cam link, which is in order to stream, which hopefully this year we'll be able to do it. We've got the two new interfaces and then my MacBook Pro microphone and my MacBook Pro speakers. Well, obviously we wanna select these new Scarlett 4th Gen, and you can see that there's 20 in and 24 outs, but we wanna use both of these. So now I click on both of them. Now you can see that the first one is my inputs 1 through 20. And you can see here, there's, from a line perspective, that's how many, you can see there's digital versus physical inputs on the actual module. Again, we see a bunch of outputs here, and then additional here. So these are our two Scarletts. So what that's basically telling us is that from a direct line input, we have inputs 1 through 8 over here, and then it's gonna be inputs 21 through, what is that, 28 over here. The rest of those are digital inputs or loop inputs. Same thing with the output on these two devices. So that is my new aggregate device, which you should see here. So this is my aggregate device now, so we'll close this. All right, so now we're in Logic, and let's just start an empty project. I'll create a new template with you guys right now. So we'll go ahead and choose this empty template, and within here it's gonna say, what do you wanna do? And here's all my different inputs, right, that we were just talking about. So let's just start with input 1. And what we're gonna do is, it's already coming from my aggregate device, but I'll show you how to kind of do that if you needed to. So I'll hit create. Now, if we needed to, we would go up to Logic Pro. In the settings under audio, you can actually choose what your output input devices are. So you could choose the different ones individually if you're only using 1 or 2 of them. You could choose all these different pieces for output. So if you wanted to hear it through your MacBook speakers, maybe you have headphones in while you're mixing, whatever it is, and then input device, obviously the different items that can capture the audio. So now we're in here, we've already got it set up, and now we're looking at audio 1. So if I hit R, we should be getting audio from from audio 1. And I'm gonna rename this now, and all you have to do to rename it is click on this, and we're gonna say, okay, rename this to snare top. Now the volume on this is way too high, so let me show you guys how we go and do that. But first, let me create some new tracks. So new audio track, it automatically does 2, and we're gonna go all the way through until we get to 7. We're gonna rename this. This is now gonna be our overhead. Right here is going to be our 8-inch, if I can spell, tom, oops, not 8-foot tom. Right, we're gonna call this our 8-inch tom. Audio 4 is our 10-inch tom. Audio 5 was our kick drum. Audio 6 was our 12-inch tom, and audio 7 was our overhead 2. So now what we're gonna do though is, because again, the other tracks start at 20, again, we'll go back to the aggregate device so I can kind of show you. Again, they start, at 21, 22, 23, 24. We only use the first 4 inputs, right? What we're gonna do is, again, create the rest of these tracks. So we should have 4 more tracks, right? Because we have 10 tracks altogether, or 11, excuse me. Oops, I inserted them down here. So we can just click these, drag them down. This is 14-inch floor tom. This is 16-inch floor tom. I'm pretty certain that this is our Roland SPD Pro, and then 11, I believe, is our snare bottom. So again, I'm just renaming these. We'll get all the actual like settings and stuff figured out, but right now what we need to do is we go to this editing function. You can see these are all line in. Well, we're not gonna have all of our microphones coming in from line 1. So what we're gonna do is change this to input 2, We'll change this to input 3, and so on and so forth. But this right here is now where we're gonna go into 21, because that's where that input's coming from, is 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then what I like to do is I'll take all of this, so I'll actually hold shift, I'll click on the first one, and then I'll hold shift and click on this one. Now all of them are selected. Instead of a standard out, I will actually send these all to a bus. And what that means is all the microphones are now going into this channel. And so therefore I can go in and actually make some edits to the whole mix. I'll edit each drum individually, and then I can actually edit the whole mix of the drums before I push this into, before I bounce this into a track. So we're not gonna put any EQ on this for now. What we wanna do is we're actually gonna arm all of these tracks. So from here over, we'll hit the R button. There we go. So now all these tracks are armed. And what you're seeing here, because the levels haven't been set, everything with the exception of the snare drum, which we set at the very beginning as 0. And I'm really excited to hear these new preamps. But that's it, guys. That's how easy it is to create an aggregate device. That's how easy it is to get your lines hooked up and running. I mean, we're getting levels from every microphone that's out there. And I think, again, you can see that we're getting pretty good levels. The 8-inch is still a little hot. I think the 10-inch needs to come up a hair, because even the 12-inch, sorry, I'm clapping and trying to talk. I think even the 12-inch is closer to the 8-inch. Let me try clapping. That's a little bit better, but again, that 10-inch is still not quite where I want it to be. So what does that do for us? Much better. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, guys, is I'm going to get the cameras set up like I would to play drums, but I'm gonna move this guy over here so you can actually watch the levels while I play. And I'll have the up camera and the down camera and then my iPhone capturing me actually playing, so we can hear what this sounds like, and you can actually see the levels going as I'm playing. And I think that'll kind of help show a little bit of how we capture these things, where we make the adjustments, but also, guys, this is how I record. And so I'm so excited to be able to use these new Focusrite interfaces. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this camera off and we'll get going. All right, guys. So now that we've got the levels where we want them to be, spend a little bit of time getting that figured out. What we're gonna do now is just hear what the interface sounds like with my kind of standard EQ and presets. Okay, let's go ahead and each sound here. Here we go. Snare drum. right, guys. No, this is, my wife won a bet, and so I had to wear a little Lord Farquaad, little mushroom head, little split down the middle as I'm growing out my hair. If that wasn't obvious from the channel, I've been growing out my hair the last couple months. I'm trying to get it back long like I used to have it. Check out this picture right here. Yes, that is me. I'm 17 in that picture, and I am a total fucking badass. Anyway, I'm growing out my hair, and my wife, I lost a bet, so I had to come on to this video with a nice little Lord Farquaad going on here. A nice little Jonathan Taylor Thomas, or whatever his name is. A nice little 90s heartthrob going on here, especially a little Good Will Hunting, if you will. All right, on a serious note though, guys, did you hear those new Focusrite oh, you're not gonna take me seriously like this. 1 second. There, that's much better. But on a serious note, guys, did you hear those new 4th generation interfaces? Dude, those new preamps are super crisp, they're super clear, there's anti-clipping technology, new volume controls, better output. You guys couldn't hear it, but the headphone output was super crystal clear, and has a way higher volume threshold than the 3rd generation did. I could hear everything so much better. It totally tuned out the drums, so I could just focus on tracking. In fact, I've already filmed several videos with the new interfaces, and I'm so excited for you guys to see them. But these are brand new interfaces, so there are some additional tweaks, adjustments, and features we didn't go over in today's video that I want to go over in a different video, as well as show you how I get my tones. So to show you how I record into the actual interface that goes into the MacBook and into my Logic Pro X. I'll show you the mixing techniques I use. I'll show you the plugins that I use, the different EQs, compressions, reverb, how I kind of create a bust channel. I know we talked about that a little bit. What do I do to that channel, right? And I'll show you a couple different ways you can go about doing it, especially when you have a bigger kit or a smaller kit. So make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you're notified when part 2 of this video comes up, where we actually take a deeper dive into the functionality of the Focusrite interface. For example, I didn't even go over the air functionality. The air functionality is an all analog circuit. And then what it does, it emulates the sound of the Focusrite ISA 110 mic preamp. What's great about that is it actually adds some high frequency presence and clarity to those audio sources. What's great about it is it's controlled all by a single button right there on the interface. That's just one feature we didn't even talk about. But again, guys, these new interfaces are a huge upgrade for the channel and a huge upgrade for all of you. So make sure, click the link down below in my description. You can actually go straight to Sweetwater right now and pick up one of these interfaces for yourself. Whether it's the Solo, the 2i2, the 18i20, whatever it is, make sure to click the link below and check these out, because guys, I'm telling you, if you're looking to upgrade your preamps, upgrade the ease of use, that was probably the biggest thing, and upgrade the sound of your drums, instruments, vocals, whatever the case is, right out of the box. This thing sounds incredible, and I'm so excited to now have it on the channel and have it that upgraded sound from Focusrite. So now, speaking of them, I do want to also issue a big thank you to Dan over at Focusrite for sending me these interfaces and making this video possible. This review, unboxing, and sound test would not have been possible without your belief in me and in the channel. And again, I've been a Focusrite user since 2021. And I have to say a big thank you, because ever since I brought Focusrite into my studio essentials, my kit has never sounded better, and we just leveled up one more time. So again, big thank you to Dan, big thank you to Focusrite, and guys, make sure, check out these 4th generation interfaces. They are truly next level. The latency is almost 0, and the preamps sound warm, clear, with a lot of presence, a lot of attack, and it's so easy to dial in the sounds once they're recorded into whatever DAW you choose. Now, I will stop talking and close up today's video, but again, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because there will be a part 2 of this where we dig in a little bit deeper into the functionality of the new interfaces, as well as, again, how I get my tones and mix the drums in my DAW. So with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.